Hello. If you want to take a deeper look at what I'm gonna show you today, you can watch my video about astronomy. It is called Andrew the Apostle, the mystery of numbers 666 and 13. You can find it at the link in the description. The bottom line is that Vyacheslav Kulanov, in his book Азбука истины Русь, claims that earlier it was two parts in one year, the woman's part and the man's part. Woman's part began on September 1st, and man's part on March 1st. And also he says that earlier streets and buildings were oriented to sunrise on different dates for the convenience of maintaining calendar. For example, on April 1st, the sun rose on Pushkin Street, so you can start plowing the land. I decided to check this out myself. I found a list of the oldest cities in the world, and using the website suncalc.org, I started checking the streets and buildings of sunrise at different dates, starting from December 24 and ending on June 22. I put the results on the map, the link to which is also in the description. Now I will show you only those streets and buildings that are oriented to sunrise on March 1st. I'll start with controversial streets and buildings. And now with an exact match. And finally, the most interesting thing, the city of Philadelphia in the USA. Look, all the streets are oriented for March 1st. Let's read the historical background from Wikipedia. Philadelphia was founded in 1682 by William Penn, an English Quaker and advocate of religious freedom. The city served as the capital of the Pennsylvania colony during the British colonial era and went on to play a historic and vital role as the central meeting place for the nation's founding fathers, whose plans and actions in Philadelphia ultimately inspired the American Revolution and the nation's independence following the Revolutionary War. It turns out that this is a pretty important city in the USA, and now let's take a look at what we have in the center. This is the City Hall, and next to it is Masonic Temple. And what do we know about Freemasonry? Well, they have a well-known symbol, the all-seeing eye. What Wikipedia says about it? The Eye of Providence, or the all-seeing eye of God, is a figure that depicts an eye, often enclosed in a triangle and surrounded by rays of light or glory, meant to represent divine providence whereby the eye of God watches over humanity. And now I have a question for you. What does the long street look like? Well, it is obvious that this is a triangle, like a road in perspective. And this is what this street will look like if the sun rises in its perspective. And how to designate an observer on the street who looks at the sunrise? It can be depicted in the form of an eye. And if we combine everything together, then we will get a so-called all-seeing eye. Well, we can assume that this is just a designation of sunrise, in the perspective of a city street, for understanding today's date, and not a symbol of Freemasons. And here is St. Petersburg with Nevsky Prospect. Some more Wikipedia. Translation in English of the quote about the Nevskaya perspective. Large promising road, large perspective, Nevskaya perspective, the name of Nevsky Prospect in those years. In addition, look at the Kazan Cathedral, which stands just on Nevsky Prospect. Here we again see the so-called all-seeing eye. What conclusion can be made after all that has been seen? It is obvious that people around the world used to pay special attention to March 1st. In my opinion, there was a single civilization that built these cities. I have created a channel in Telegram where anyone can participate in the search of similar streets. There you will also find online maps where I put all the dates. There are links to them in the description. At the end I prepared a small bonus. About 30° east longitude, there are such cities as St. Petersburg, or rather, the Konstantinovsky Palace, Kiev, Istanbul, earlier Constantinople, Alexandria, and Peter Maritzburg, in which there is a street oriented to the sunrise on March 1st.
Дай-ка я разок посмотрю, где рождается